everyone, welcome to House of Yuya. We're going to be following up today's Sabbath Insight on the righteous family. So we're just waiting for all the sisters to kind of pour in. Probably only can have, I'm going to wait a bit until more people kind of like come in. Just waiting for everybody to join. I guess for those who are going to catch this live later, today's Sabbath Insight Yuya built on the righteous family. So it was powerful. It was powerful. So you can go to anewlifeglobal.org to catch the replay if you didn't see it. And also subscribe to I New Life Global Ministries, because that's where Chief Yuya does his lives every Sabbath, which is Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, and we're just doing a follow-up today, because today, I mean, how could we not talk about family here? So, and that is the foundation, that is a core principle in I New. So, just waiting for my sister to join. All right. Peace, Akoti Arena. Welcome. Yeah, if you want to join in on the live at any point, just send a request. This is my first time. We gonna make it work. We gonna make it work. But thank you for joining. If you like, you can start sharing in the chat just some of the things that you got from today's Sabbath Insight that Chief Yuya did today on the righteous family. It was powerful. It's like we had to do a live. It's like, how could we not? After that, it was so powerful. Peace. Just waiting for peace. I don't know if you requested to join in, but let me see if I can. I invited you to join, sister. Okay, I accepted the request. So you should be able to join. Okay, I'm invited. Oh, okay. I don't know if you see the accepting, because I accepted, but there we go. Right.
Right. Let me in.
Awesome, we doing it. And peace, everyone. Minutes, I think it stood out that in Western culture, are raised in opposition to our natural roles and characteristics. Right? It was so deep what she was sharing about like how young boys are treated versus young girls. I was like, wow. Wow, so we've been doing this parenting thing all wrong.
Wrong.
You know. But this is just like another level, like that emotional level aspect, the psychological aspect, like just, yeah, they don't give it to you like this in school. I was like, teach this part. They teaching all this other historical, all these, cognizoids and talking about social, this is the theory of this and theory that. I'm like, okay. Divine. But
It's not divine. like that. I mean, I like that he broke down the difference in that Western, mindset versus the Eastern mindset, or that divine mindset, and you just get to see the difference. Like, yeah, the solutions, quote unquote solutions that they're giving us in these institutions, they don't really, work for our people,
Right.
for what's really going on with our people. So I just feel like Chief is the ultimate psychiatrist, teacher,
Yeah.
everything. So
Right.
very grateful to have him as our our Jegna and for guiding us. So
Same too. Yeah, so yeah, the fact that boys are more emotional yet told to bury their emotions. Yeah.
yes, yes. I was thinking about it when he said that. Even sometimes with little girls, or I was just saying like an experience I had. A lot of times you're told, like if you do start crying, sometimes it's like, oh, shut up, like oh, it's bad. But they'll tell you like, nobody wants to hear you crying, or if you're expressing something, sometimes you get that, and that's like, oh, it just causes you to kind of suppress things, and you know it just messes up like the way that we're intended to function. So I thought about that too, like as he was just going deeper and deeper into a lot of different examples. Man,
Right. Great. Peace, Samakosha. Forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong, but thank you for joining us. Welcome.
I think that's
Yeah.
my page from my art page. So they jumped over. Thank you for coming.
Cool. Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just thought about like in terms of like how we as women, have to prepare ourselves. Like, if we desire, womanhood, desire marriage and union, a divine union, like what we have to do. And like one of the things that stood out was like really like changing the mindsets. Like, okay, well, boys, they need to be rambunctious. They need to be like jump out and like they have to take risks. And I know a lot of times growing up, my mother would be like, oh no, don't do that. Like, oh no, don't break your leg, don't do this. And it's like our whole mindset has to change, like if we're going to be helping to like raise like our new children, because this is a whole different culture, whole different ball game, and what we do is a whole lot different.
I think
So
like even I think Chief has talked about this, but like at a certain age, the little boys are taken away from their mothers. They go into that rites of passage mode, and he also talks about like there may be a time where you have your little baby and he starts running around and it's like you can't do anything with him, and it's like you tell him to do something, he's like whatever, but like that's a part of that process of like if you're a mother and you have a son, that's something to
right,
so for like you cannot keep a little boy under your thumb. Like they're meant to go out into the world and conquer it. So I love
exactly.
that message into the space.
Yeah, it's gonna be that pass off. Like, all right, I did my job. Now you got to go with the men. Like, So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just stood out in terms of like like for you good, or even like for union, or just like anything that stood out like in regards to what was.
Well, I take it back to not only this lesson that he taught, but the lesson that he taught last Sabbath, and just the attachment theory. And I just think, I think about how many of us probably were born as a result of like dysfunctional attachments. And so
Right.
for me, like him laying that groundwork, the foundation of what we actually need to understand prior to wanting to mate and procreate, I think that stood out to me very much so, because it did, give me an opportunity to sit and be like, how did I function throughout my life, whether I was connecting with friends or, wanting to mate or relatives, like how was I able to form those connections? Were they healthy, or did they last long, or were they, a space that I felt secured in? And if it wasn't, like, you think about, well, how am I still demonstrating maybe some of those dysfunctions now? And is it preventing me from, getting to that place of mating and joining unison with another person? So that stood out to me, of course, because it's like there's always work to be done. There's always work to be done. And he gives us so many solutions and so many tools that we can use. So
absolutely. And we have the required qualities in the Anuway Foundations, and I do think about those qualities that we have to have, because I think about like you were speaking about, like having those secure attachments and starting childhood. So there has to be this ability to be able to respond to a child when they're in, and give them that. They have those memories of like, okay, I was taken care of in my time of need, so like I'm good, like I'm healthy, in that emotion. I know how to process emotions, manage emotions, and so like there's so much to what we have to learn in our role. And so like you want to say something?
Yeah, saying it, I'm thinking about. I know we spoke about it briefly, but just even I think we did it in the study session that we did with Anu, or maybe it was the womb space. But like for me, just learning the different emotional cues of a baby, of an infant. Like I've been like really like studying because I'm excited. But like really learning like the different cues when babies are hungry, when they're crying and they're sleepy, or if they need your attention. What are the different cues and the things that we can pick up on so that we can have the ability to respond, in a way that is nurturing and caring. And I think about those things because, we do have to consider the way that we came into this life, maybe the things we didn't get, and as a result, where has it placed us? So I took, that part very serious, and I have been taking it serious, and I have been, preparing myself and just trying to learn as much as I can, just learn,
Absolutely. I think it's important for all of us as our new women to do that preparation. Like if we're not there, if we're struggling with different attachments and like emotional issues, and we have those problems, and she did say like, no, you want to address that, because not only does that prevent you from having a healthy relationship, then it definitely will prevent you from the next step of having family too. And what you shared, like, it reminds me of the required quality, being in tune with the needs of the community. Because like if you start with like like you're in tune with your children, of course you're going to be in tune with like people in the community too. It's like, because you have that like sensitivity and that awareness and that wisdom, and so
I think there's like maybe in some instances we think like, oh, being in tune with the needs of the community is just something that just innately supposed to be there. And but I think like I have been learning like those things aren't necessarily just gonna jump out of the sky. Like it's not just, oh, I'm a woman, so I just innately know how to do those things. Sometimes it's like you have to learn. You have to learn how to care. You have to learn how to respond. I always go back to the ability to respond, responsibility. But I do look at sheep, like we always talk about, like men, they are more nurturing than women. So they provide that example of how to nurture and care for others. At least I know Chief has. So I'm always looking at him to see like how does he handle certain situations. And I just try to learn from that example of how to be, in the space of the community and how to provide those needs. It's a process, it's a learning process. But, I do think that's very important.
it definitely. So Coach Mina said it yes, and also being in tune with your needs in terms of high avoidance and high anxiety. Your needs. You mean like as adults?
I think we could bring Coach Mina on. Can we bring her on?
Yeah, I tried to invite her. It won't let me invite, so I think you have to request Coach Mina to come. I think I skipped one of her comments. It also stood out how with most girl children, when they cry and it is instant instantly met someone solving the problem for them. Right, right. So it kind of feeds into that entitlement.
Definitely. And I also, when he talked about, like, he did mention, like, the world doesn't stop because of, like, how you feeling and your emotions and stuff. And I think that was like that's not the first time he said that. And, I think that's just a lesson that most women, we have to learn. Like, yeah, you have to get out of yourself. You know what I mean? If you're going to say you want to be a mate and you want to, be a part of a family, part of a community, be a mother, it's not about you. Like, you have to get to a point where you realize, like, you're, in this culture, like, we're giving ourselves over completely to this culture, to whoever our mate is and whatever his vision is. So I just think that's like,
Absolutely.
that's,
Absolutely. You can be selfish. Like, cannot be selfish. Like, sharing is like, but yeah, think about like being able to respond with ability. And like a lot of times, like I hear like women say like, oh, they don't have children, and it's always like for a selfish reason. Like, oh, I want to experience life more. I want to like, so it's just all about you. What about bringing that experience to children and bringing that experience to a mate? Like, it's just about pleasure and it feels fun and my goals. Like, what does any of that mean if it's not towards like a higher purpose? And being that family is the highest form of science, it's like, wow, like there's so much that there's so much to learn even in that. Like, even in functioning in a family, like how much wisdom is gained. So I think it's when I'm excited to be able to be a part of like our new families and create and to assist in that way, because I would say one of the reasons, and I was sharing with you, the reason I joined I knew because I always wanted to see what it looked like in real life. I'm like, I want to see this manifested in physical form, like this culture, everything that's being spoken of. I want to see our new children, our new family, what that really looks like, so yeah.
yeah, no, this is, I definitely see it happening. And I know for me coming in, it was no brainer, because I just saw, I always say, I keep sharing the vision, but I'm like, I just saw children. I always saw children, and I always saw them being surrounded by, a community of people who actually love them and care for them. And I saw it as a, maybe before I understood it, but it was set apart because it was like, you're safe from the world. You know what I mean? In this space with these people, you're safe. And I always considered, like, I knew I wanted to have a family. I knew, like, it's time for a family. But I always knew, like, if something ever happened to me or the father, I would want the children to be okay and to be amongst people who actually cared for them and would not hurt them or would not push them out into the world. It's kind of like what Chief mentioned about sometimes having aunts and grandmothers and big sisters or whatever, and they have that Jezebel spirit, and they'll push you out there to do all of the things that they know is wrong and destructive, and they sit back and they laugh. And for me, like, I just, I didn't want that. If I had children, a family, I did not want that. If something were to happen to me, I would want them to be, righteousness. So.
Absolutely. And she was just sharing like how like everyone can't come on our new land. Everyone can't come because like if you're not like functioning, like you're not on one accord, and like it can create issues and people like causing, like trying to destroy what's being built. And it's like if there's children and families on the land, it's like nah, we can't have any of that. So it's definitely being able to trust those who you are around. Is like, no, like I forget the word I'm trying to think of what he shared. Like this is more of like a, I'll just say bloodline, because I can't remember the word that he used. But yeah, being able to connect on that level, like.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there are times, I don't know if you've had that experience, but sometimes it's like you have to cut people off. Like, you gotta push them away. Like, anytime they try to bring some stuff that can be destructive to what it is that you're saying, no, I'm really about this, or I really am down with this person's what their vision and what their mission is and what they're about. And anybody that try to destroy that or try to talk against it, I literally be like, I don't want to hear it. Like, that's when you see a different, a different culty come out. But it's like, no, because I'm serious. I feel like, when you're looking at someone like Chief, I mean, the way I see it, this is somebody who's doing something that, you're not going to see a lot of brothers doing. You're not going to see somebody say, no, we're gonna have a community of our own, and this is what we're going to live. We're going to reclaim what was taken from us. And, for people to try to put that down, especially when it's a brother, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
So for me, this is where it's at. It's I knew until I died.
When you shared that, no, it reminded me what he was saying about the Ezer Connector. That's like that's how we protect.
Yeah.
That's how we protect, and we make sure that nothing foreign is coming in, and wherever somebody's trying to come in, it's like I know that I'm not supposed to let this in, so you don't even have to worry about me like letting like foreign thoughts and like Babylonian thoughts and what people have. Wisdom they try to give. It's like I don't want to hear the wisdom you got. It's not wisdom that I need to be hearing. Cause
fit here. Doesn't fit here. So no. So I don't know, but what are some things that maybe you're doing in preparation and just how you're seeing things maybe 5 years from now, 7 years from now, as far as mating, family, all of those things?
Yeah, well, definitely starting with like listening to these Sabbath Insights that he shared on the foundation of like how to like raise children properly, because we all can use some help there. So really like developing emotional intelligence and being able to respond intelligently, like making sure that I have that self-control, and I think all of that is a part of like, and not being selfish too. So serving my community and being selfless, learning those qualities now, or practicing them, not learning, because we don't need to wait to start building family and joining the union. But just I would say the ways of preparation is like emotional maturity, character development, and having functioning in a healthy relationship. I mean, I don't know. I think everything that we do and I knew is preparation. All information, everything that we're learning and been learning is all the preparation. What about you?
Well, a couple of things. One, being in the House of Yuya, because essentially you're talking about a house, a homestead, so as we're given certain things to do in the house, it's a way of us practicing how to, be a part of a household, how to care for a mate, or how to, function in that role. So it's continuing to see that opportunity, see every opportunity is that. Secondly, I really, like, I look for opportunities now, like in terms of the whole motherhood aspect of it. I look for opportunities to engage with mothers or those who went through the process of motherhood. I'm able to decipher now through what information you keep and what you need to just, push away.
Right.
But it's allowing myself to like go out into the world and open myself up to those opportunities to see more of that, motherhood, family, and doing that. Like, I just run into a lot of people who they either pregnant or they got a family, and I'm able to have conversations with them, and that just feeds that energy. It just feeds it for me, and it just continues to keep me focused on what's important, especially in this year of consecration. Like, what's important is family. And so those things that I do, research, learning, how things actually operate in the body, when you're mating, when you're preparing to make a baby, how it starts with the thought of the man. And it just, I get excited when I talk about it, because it's like, that's all that matters right now. That's all that matters.
health, I forgot to say, that's like very important one, to getting the body right. Getting health in order, because it's like, in order to be able to produce, the body has to be healthy, you know, to bring forth that creative thought that the man has, like. So I think that's beautiful, like being surrounded by mothers, and because I think there's this sense of like purpose, like when it comes to like being a part of a family, you can see it, like, okay, I'm about these children, I'm about, like, we doing this, we, you know, she's on her, like, she's focused, you know, she's, you know, it's just a different like energy and aura that I see when I see like a family together. It's like, oh, you know, because I've interacted with families who had children and things of that nature, and it's always like, okay, she's serious about what, she ain't got time for nothing that's silly, or like, you know, it's like, who has time for that, or wants to have time for that, you know? So like what we're building here is too important. So like Chief said, every woman I knew should be raising children. That's paramount. So however we need to do it, you know, I know we all got our individual situations, but it's like, however you need to do it, it can happen. It needs to happen. That's important.
For sure. There's no time to waste. Like, you know, time just keeps ticking away. I knew, you know, 24, I think I was like, I should have a family by now. Like, it's time for a family. And, you know, sometimes that process, you don't know what that process is going to look like when you're preparing for that. But like I said, as long as you keep yourself open, that's something Chief has taught me. Like, you keep yourself open to those things, and that's what's going to come your way. So, yeah, just it ain't nothing else to do. Like, go have some babies. Go get away. Build a righteous family, you know? Like, what else you doing? Sitting at home on the couch. You are, you know that.
What else is there? And eventually you're gonna be like, what am I doing with my life? You know, like, we hear the stories, and that's the level of wisdom. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take that wisdom and not follow that path, because you know, we don't want that, you know.
Yeah, doesn't do anything. So
this was great. I don't see anybody that requested to join, but like, you know, willfully everyone catch the replay and able to join in next time.
Yeah.
But
and we'll be doing more segments like this. I think this is the new wave. It's time to have these beautiful conversations, but much needed. So stay. Yes, Yamina got it. Go see the Everest commercial. You're sitting at home on your seat or your couch watching TV, making a family. Get up, get to it.
Oh man, it's been so long since I watched TV. I remember that now. Yeah, thank you for joining us, Okoti Yamina. Yeah, I look forward to having more discussions like this inside of the Anu Boom space. So for those who are interested in more discussions like this, join Anu. Go to anulifeglobal.org, sign up, join the ministry so we can discuss this and be a part of like what we're doing, building family and just like helping to build Yah's kingdom, you know, like yeah, you're passionate, like how we're passionate and value, see the importance of what we're doing, like, and join.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Peace.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thanks for riding the wave with us. If you liked that episode, catch some of our previous Sabbath Insights. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and catch Chief Yuya live every Sabbath. Only on House of Yuya.
Do you want to be